maybe? Did you add a destination? We did it.
We're here. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Castbox. Pat Zemer and Elaine Paula here to answer your questions about MagnaWave protocols, machines, training, whatever it may be, the app, anything you want to talk about, we're here to talk about it. If you would like to talk with us, simply send me your number to 502-599-9722, and then we'll be able to call you back and we can have a conversation about whatever it is that you'd like to discuss with regard to MagnaWave. So Elaine is with us, and she's got some things to talk about with regard to the app and some stuff going on. So Elaine, take it away.
All right, here's the deal. We're here. I'm so happy to see you guys. It only took us 30 minutes to figure it out by ourselves, but we're here. Happy to see you guys. So I'm going to give my spiel to you all. Again, if you want to comment, please tell us where you are. Good morning, Terry Butler. Hi, Hannah. Let's see. We got Hannah. She's from California. Yes, we made it, Tracy. Whoop, whoop. Everybody that usually helps us with the show, or the majority of the people usually help us with office hours, are at the actual horse park in Lexington setting up for the 3-day event. We're very excited about that. That starts, later this week, but we are setting up today. We are the official sponsors of the Riders Lounge, which is a big tent with foods and drinks and MagnaWave. There is no actual viewers this year, so nobody can watch the 3-day, in person, but you can watch it on, there's a link for that, so we'll put that up for you all to be able to find it. All right, really quickly, I do want to talk a little bit about the LZR. I've been getting a lot of questions about that. I also know that the MagnaWave app is down. Just to give you all an update, the MagnaWave app was down. It is on its way back up. It'll be back up today. We have done a big update to our website and our app, so sometimes that can have a little bit of technical difficulties. But here's the LZR Ultrabright, made in the USA, as all of our products are. And it comes in this really nice case. And a lot of people have been asking me about how to add this to your business. This is what it looks like. What it comes with is this book. Written by Curtis Turchin, is LED and light therapy clinical procedures. So it's great. It's got a lot of information. It also comes with a quick start guide. So that's excellent. And then we have some marketing materials that'll be in the update with the practitioner portal today. So I'm going to share some of the practitioner portal fun stuff later on in the broadcast. But I wanted to let you know that the anybody who gets the LZR, you should have this book, which can really help you understand what it does. In our app, which will be back up later today or tomorrow, there's also guidelines, and there's training in the MagnaWave Academy. So if you've watched all of that and you still have questions, please reach out to us at support@mwpmf.com. The majority of people who do use this in their, in their business, they usually add on, if you're doing it with MagnaWave, about $15 to $25 on top of a MagnaWave session price. And other people buy, if you're using the LZR just by itself, it's usually $30 to $40 a session. We also have billing codes if you are a chiropractor or and you would like to get something like the LZR and actually bill insurance for it. We do have those billing codes in our practitioner portal. So all of that is available to you all, and I'm going to show you some of that here as the broadcast goes on. But Dad, I'm going to go ahead. I know there's a lot of questions here.
We have questions there, and I've got a question on the phone as well.
Okay, why don't you go ahead with the phone one, and then we'll go back to the comments.
Okay, let me bring them up. Take just a second. Here it comes. It's a question about the LZR, so it'll be appropriate. And Hazel Reed needs to be entered for the prize today because she was very helpful on letting me know that we won.
Hello?
Hey, how are you? Pat Zemer here.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm great. And you have a question?
Okay, question. I was wondering.
Turn your volume down on your computer.
Okay. I have a Julian Duo that we use for personal use for our hunters, show hunters.
Okay.
And how much is too much is the first question. Can you use it daily if they enjoy it before or after a ride?
Most certainly.
Time, like what is a typical time for each session?
Okay, if you're doing a full body session and you're doing it, let's say you're doing it several times a week, you can do it daily. There's been many cases that we've done that before or after the work. But if you're doing it like that, you could do the full horse if you're not dealing with ankles or knee issues.
We're just doing bodies.
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes.
And we just get body sore.
20 to 30 minutes.
Okay, 20 to 30 minutes, and I guess each horse will tell you what setting they like.
Correct. They'll let you know what's comfortable, and that's for sure.
Okay, and would it be appropriate to save time to use two large wave wings, the extra large wave wings on maybe the neck and then move the other set from the center of the body to the haunches and back?
Most certainly. You're going to save a lot of time. You could probably finish the whole horse in 10 or 12 minutes in that type of situation.
Okay, that was my question. If they love it and sit there and you just stand beside them, you can do it in 10 to 12 minutes. And no such thing as too much. You can do it every day, and I'm not masking any problems I need to know about.
No.
Okay.
Elaine has a comment. Elaine does have a comment. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can you get her name, please?
Yes.
Mary.
Yeah. Mary, and then I would recommend with your Julian Duo, there's some really great stuff. Because you're using it personally, a lot of people don't take the certification, but I would recommend it comes with the machine. You did? Okay, good. So if you have we're adding to that all the time, Mary. There's a lot of new stuff in there that we're learning, that we're adding. So check back. It's called the MagnaWave Academy in the portal. And then also, Mary, when we say there isn't, such thing as too much, there can be if you do 4 hours in one day. But yes, you can use it every day with reasonable time. I just don't want anybody watching to get the wrong idea.
Yeah, so if you're spending 15 minutes on your horse with your Julian Duo daily because they love it and it relaxes them and makes them super comfortable, that's not masking anything.
No.
Okay. And then how about the LZR? How often is safe to use that?
Same thing. If you've got a joint you're using it on, or if there's an open wound you're using it on, you can use it repetitive daily if you need to. It's the kind of thing that the horse is going to tell you what they need or what's going on. But if you're just treating for just overall good feeling, you don't need to use the LZR every day, that type of thing. Now, you might want to put it on the pole for a minute or so. If you're going to do the neck and the body of the horse, put the LZR up on the pole, and you'll get that effect there.
Okay.
And you could do that at the same time.
Okay. All right. Well, we're reaching for it so often because they love it. They're going so well. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't masking anything.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, let me address that just for a second. And we addressed this several years ago when we were first having conversations with the FEI, and just a minute, his name will come to me in just a second. But the doctor we were talking to was talking about it won't mask anything. If the pain is there, if the injury is there, it will come back immediately when you're using PEMF. Whereas with some medications or some injections, you can mask things. But that's not the case here. If the pain is there, the injury is there, it will come right back.
And then, okay, got it. And then, and you think the two extra large wave wings to really save time is a great idea?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was Dr. Pollack that I was dealing with. Dr. Pollack was discussing that with me.
I know that FEI doesn't want you to use them at the horse shows, but so far USEF is fine. And we're USEF, is our body of,
right.
So they're fine with it. So now, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hiding anything.
With that said, the FEI's regulation is you cannot use a device that generates more than 1,000 Gauss. And when you're using the large wave wings with the Julian Duo, you are not producing more than 1,000 Gauss.
Oh, okay. So you could even use it under FBI guidelines.
Correct.
Yes. Yes, and Mary, can I add to that really quickly? There are several people. There are other obviously distributors of PMF equipment out there, and they actually have some of their machines. Like the Gauss label is miscalculated. My dad actually did a video talking about this, and we have sent that video to the FEI. They are. We are at, majority of FEI events. Now, there are sometimes vets at FEI events, and they will rule off any magnetic wave or any modalities, period, like even the LZR. They'll say, no red light, no magnetic field, nothing. Those events, that has nothing to do with just the entire FEI. It's just that one vet of that show has decided he doesn't want any of those alternative wellness options. Now, majority, though, like we are at an FEI event, we're sponsoring it, we're doing it all the time. And they obviously, they wouldn't let us sponsor these events and be there treating if we weren't allowed at the show.
I see. Okay. Another quick question. I had got a Soul unit for my house. I'm really glad I got the Julian from Lauren though, because it just makes it so much faster. So the people are using the Soul machine. The only thing I don't like about it is the 10-minute timer. I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
Would you, do you have, I'm just renting this one. Do you have any recommendation of a house unit that I might like better? Or,
Elaine's got an answer for you.
I'm like, can I tell her? Okay, so the Soul machine is great. It is, it is what it is. It's in a smaller case. It's not meant to be used as like a business. So the 10-minute timer is there. But I would recommend if you want a house unit and you don't, right now, the Pulse Pro machine, which is, amazing, is on sale for $9,950. I know you're just renting the Soul, but that machine is going to give you nearly what you get with your Julian, but with that unlimited timer, and it sits very nicely in its case on any desk, any table, anywhere. It can even be on its side next to a couch, which is how I keep the Pulse Pro at my house. I actually keep it long ways like this instead of like that, if that makes sense. I keep it like this next to my couch, so it's almost, you can't even see it in between like my side table and my couch, and that's an excellent way to use it.
So the only difference between the two machines is the timer?
No, the Pulse Pro is actually stronger than the Soul.
It's twice as strong.
Yes, twice as strong, but it has the 90-minute timer.
And you get more power.
Correct.
Right, and it's $9,950.
So it's not a lot more expensive.
Now, can I turn in my Soul and have that rental go toward the Pulse Pro that I've already spent?
Yeah, traditionally half of that goes towards, but what we could do is if you go ahead and send, like if you pay for the shipping difference, then you can talk to your product specialist about getting, that if you take care of the shipping. The big thing is the shipping back and forth. So usually we can't pay shipping both ways and do the entire rental because we get a used machine back. But depending on the machine, if you already have a loaner, like if that machine had been used before, then usually we're flexible with that rental. So I would just reach out to your product specialist and say, hey, I was on the show. I think I want to switch to the Pulse Pro. And then they'll do their best to, based on what machine you have right now, Soul-wise, to get you the majority of that rental back.
Okay. And so you think I might be happier with that one?
I know you'd be happier with that one. I know it. Yeah. Okay.
And then I used it for my daughter who suffers from migraines the other day, and it really helped her. I mean, she put we used the butterfly wing on her head, and it helped immediately. Any use for the LZR for the migraines or no?
Okay, what you can do there is take the LZR, place it on the forehead for 30 seconds. Make sure there's no hair on the ear. Place it on each ear for 30 seconds, and it'll help quite a bit with that type of situation. And also treat the feet. Put the LZR on the feet, or put her feet in the large loop or the butterfly on the floor, and that'll help as well.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Send an email to support@MagnaWave PMF. We'll get you we'll send you a copy of my book. Hazel, if you've got the book, send the email to support@PMF, and we'll send you some gear. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So who do I email? MagnaWave?
Support@MagnaWave PMF.
Okay.
And Elaine is showing how the LZR is used on the head as well for migraines.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so moving right along.
Dad, what I like about this book that comes with the LZR, because a lot of people are asking online now, if you're wanting animal protocols or animal guidelines, which majority of our people are also going to want, those are in the actual app, which again, we know that it is not working right this second. We are updating it. We had to push some updates. We have so much information, Dad, on the back end of our website that we have had to upgrade our server twice. This year alone, we originally, well, in the last 12 months, we originally thought our server was going to last for like the next 3 years, but we have so much fantastic content that we're adding so often that we've actually upgraded to a new server. So just so everybody's aware that is happening, we are aware the app is going to be up shortly. Dad, we've got some other questions about the LZR. Okay. Is it okay if I ask them?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, so hold on. For weight loss with the LZR, how long can you use it?
When you say how long you can use it, typically if you're using weight loss, and let's say you're working on the midsection, you would place it on an area for a minute, and then you would move it over and just work across your midsection 1 minute at a pop. Now, if you wanted to go across 1 minute per section and then come back and do it 1 more minute again, I wouldn't do necessarily 2 minutes in a row on a particular section. That may get hot and uncomfortable, but if you went across your gut or across your midsection and went a minute each and then came back and did it again, and then get on the MagnaWave to help move all of those shrunken cells to the lymphatic system, that would be fine.
Yeah, I completely agree with what he's saying. So what I did, Dad, and you're the one who inspired me with. So if anybody doesn't know the story, my dad actually did one side of his body with the LZR and then didn't do the other side. So he was like awkward for a while where he had like an inch of weight loss on one side and then not. I mean, you could literally see the difference. Am I not correct? You could see.
That is correct.
Where it was better on one side. So I started using it and I did in the morning. I tried to do it and then I did 10 minutes with the MagnaWave. So I did just like he said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get all the way around, 1 minute each spot. And then I did the MagnaWave with the large loop across my belly. And that was amazing. And then her next question is about hip pain. She said that she cannot use the MagnaWave because she has a pacemaker or something. But so she cannot use it, but she wanted to know about hip pain. And absolutely, there are diagrams in the book all about where to place it, how to place it. I'm sorry, this is backwards for me. So we talk all about hip pain, and there's the output and the treatment times right here as well. So there's a lot of excellent information in here for you, and you can absolutely use it for hip pain, even if you have some of those things that are magnetic field, like PMF, would bother. So battery-operated devices inside the body don't affect it.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see. LZR is an awesome device. I've been having amazing results with arthritis and sinus issues. Thank you, Dawn. Nola says, this is a good one, Dad. The resources are absolutely awesome with MagnaWave. It's good to know. Angela says, can the LZR be around phones and watches? What do you say to that?
Sure.
Yes.
Not a problem. Now, you want to be careful with your MagnaWave around phones and watches from time to time. My brother uses a MagnaWave at home, and I got a message this morning that he sits on it and for his prostate and that type of thing. He had his phone in his back pocket. He sat on the large loop and took care of his phone, basically fried his phone. For years, I've had, if I'm treating myself or when I was treating horses, had my phone in my back pocket, and it didn't affect anything. But if you put the coils right on your phone or right on an electronic key for a car, for example, it can fry those little cells that are in there so they don't work, those little diodes.
And that's MagnaWave magnetic fields completely. So like your phone, your actual cell phone puts off a like a signal, a magnetic pulse, a constant magnetic field. And if you go to, especially with 5G right now, if you go to a hotel and you get one of those little car keys and you put it next to your phone, it will erase it. And recently I have erased almost every single debit card I have ever gotten recently with my MagnaWave. My husband's like, not again, not again. I have to walk into the bank like, sorry, I need another one. So just keep your phone and your wallet away from the MagnaWave.
Now, he told me that what he did is when she was taking a nap, he opened her purse and got the cards out and fried them so she couldn't use them.
Are you talking about my husband? I knew something was going on. He probably did.
Okay, Doc. If you have any questions, send us a text to 502-599-9722 and I'll give you a call back. Or if you'd like to put it in the box, do that and we will have a look at the comments.
I got one, Dad. Taylor says, can you tell us which machines are not FEI compliant? And I do want to say, Taylor, and I'm going to go a little bit down, and then I want you to take it from here. FEI compliance was a very sticky issue. The way that they worded that actual rule that they put in their rule book is really off. And my dad's going to go more into that. But they say 1,000 Gauss. I want to be very clear. It is nearly impossible. And I actually talked to a NASA scientist about this about 2 weeks ago, to actually read the Gauss rating of a machine if you're around other Wi-Fi signals. So to get a really clear Gauss rating, you have to have a very specific device. And the FEI is not equipped to measure these machines the way that they need to measure the machines. So we have done that for them. And so we do have the Semi and the Soul with the large loop and the XL wave wings are totally fine, as well as the Spiro. They all test in with the large loop, the XL wave wings, and the butterfly to be totally within those ranges. But Dad, maybe you could go into a little bit more about the way that it was worded. And there are people out there that are saying some of the giant machines, they're getting a magnetometer, believe this or not, Dad, from Lowe's. They're getting a magnetometer that reads like a constant magnetic field. They're taking it to FEI events. They're showing it they're putting it up against their machine. It reads like 25. And they have some huge machines. And the FEI has no clue how to take that. Tell us a little more.
Well, and that can happen. You have to have a special magnetometer in order to read these signals. And the reason for that is the signals from these high-powered machines, ours as well as other manufacturers' machines, it fires, the signal goes up, it comes down, and it stops. When it stops is when the magnetometer gets confused. The magnetometers that most people use are designed to read what are called continuous or sinus waves. In order, the wave comes up, goes down, comes up, goes down, but it does not stop. So the magnetometer can get a reading. With the other type of devices, it reads because it starts and stops, and that's the magnetometer that we use. And so people have done that, and they're not trying to snooker anybody or do anything wrong, but you put those on and they're not accurate readings. What we did is we took the devices, we had the magnetometer manufactured that would read these devices. We've now upgraded all of that. So we were able to say that the Semi, for example, with the large loop and the wings would meet the criteria of less than 1,000 Gauss. Whereas if you use the paddle with that machine, it would produce almost 3,000 Gauss. So we explained that, we sent that to the FEI, and their position was, as long as the machine does not produce more than 1,000 Gauss, you can use it. And so that's how it was done, and that's what's going on with the FEI today. And yes, some people are using magnetometers that may not be as accurate, but in many cases the FEI accepts it, and away they go using these devices. That's why at FEI events, it's up to the veterinarian in charge of the event to decide who can come in or what can be used and what can't be used. But our devices we test them with machines specifically designed to test these devices, and we know what will work. And even with our larger machines, the large wave wings, what happens is each attachment produces a different Gauss depending on the attachment. Yes, the machine creates the power, but when it goes into that great big wing like the wave wings, all of a sudden it's dissipated down. Now you get a lot of body movement, but you're not getting the large amount of Gauss. So it's a matter of which one works the best for you. The massaging action of the body movement plus the PEMF coming into the body at a lower Gauss, that's perfect, and it works well. Sometimes this gets a little deeper, a little confusing, but that's what's going on and what's happened. And so when they made that ruling, 1,000 Gauss, I presume they just picked a number and they said that's where it's at, because a lot of the lower power devices only get to 50 Gauss, maybe 50 Gauss, and that's fine. But they just came up with a number, and that's what it was, and it was up to us. I mean, I called them. I said, how do you want to measure this? Do you have measurements? No, we're not going to get into that. You have to tell us what works. So I went through all the tests, said which machines work. The Soul, the Semis are not a problem.
Spiro
and the Spiral Go are not problems. When you get into the larger machines, then the attachment becomes more important, which attachment you're using in order not to exceed 1,000 Gauss on that treatment.
Yeah, and a lot of times, guys, I mean, if you're looking at different websites, there are people there are different companies that sell similar machines. I mean, some manufacturers don't tell you the Gauss, some do. So, it's very hard for people. I suggest if you are looking to get some straight answers, go to pmfprofessionals.com. We are really proud to be associated with the AOPP. They are currently testing I believe they have like 7 manufacturers now that have joined up to be part of their group, and we've submitted all of our machines for testing with them. So they are doing Gauss readings in an independent lab. I believe that'll be up sometime soon this year. So please make sure that if you really want to get, even unbiased advice, because we are MagnaWave, you want to get some advice about other machines and just about PMF in general, PEMFprofessionals.com. Even if you haven't purchased a machine yet, that's an excellent place to go for that information. We got a lot of questions. You want me to go? You want me to ask them that? Or?
Yeah, real quick. Let me give one more little tidbit on that. Back in the day, 20 years ago, when I was first starting with this, 20 years ago, the machine Gauss was a mathematical equation. So they decided if you've got this size capacitor, this many diodes, this type of charging rate for the transformer, it will produce 20,000 Gauss or 2 Tesla. And it was purely mathematical. When we started building magnetometers that would actually measure them, that number was cut in half because the attachment actually regulates the type of Gauss that's delivered. So where people have said machines are 20,000 Gauss or 30,000 Gauss, quite often it's a mathematical equation, and it's very difficult to measure those if they don't have the right kind of equipment, which was not ready available. We had to have it specially made in some cases. So a little bit more there. So if you have some questions, Elaine.
Yeah, great. Okay, so Angela would like to know how much time a day is too much for my soul as I want to grow my business and use it on 3 people at home. And I think she means like how many times a day can she use it? We usually recommend 5 times or less in a day just because, it's not a business device. It's meant to be used. You can go over that, but it's not meant to be used more than about that you're really putting a lot of pressure. It's like driving a car all day, every day. If it's meant to be around town car, that's different than one that you drive cross country.
Probably the real key to that, and Elaine is correct, on a normal situation, I would boost that number a little bit just because I've been doing it. However, that's a very good number. But the key is the recycle time. So if you're going to do a treatment session with a 10-minute timer, and let's say your session is 20 minutes, so you run it twice, the key is to let it recirculate, let the fan run a little bit after the second session, 2 or 3 minutes, then it's cooled down and you can go again. The biggest culprit to these devices is the heat. Certainly dirt is involved in the equine business when you got a lot of what I call wet dust in the air and so forth, can cause problems with the machines. But if the machines get a chance to recycle and cool after a usage, they'll go much, 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 much longer. But that's hard. People don't do it. They just keep punching that button. We used to have a situation when we first started making mats back in the early 2000s, and people were burning up machines. Well, they'd put this mat down, they'd run the machine for 10 minutes, they'd punch that button for an hour the machine got no chance to cool down. It gets up to 160 to 180 degrees inside of the device, and it needs to be recycled. So as long as we recycle, you're good to go. Now, of course, you have electrode wear and all of that can occur, but recycle the machine, let it cool down, and then go again.
Yeah, I just want to say the Soul is not meant to be used as a full-time business device. If you are doing it part-time, great. If you are wanting to run a machine, you need to go Pulse Pro or higher. The Soul is good, but you got to think about the case size, okay? The components that are used to build that machine are much smaller, much different than the ones that are used to build the Pulse Pro, the Max, the Maya, the Julian. All of those machines have bigger, stronger, larger power supplies that are meant to be able to run and do those courses. So yes, cooling down is important. We've gotten to a point now where the fans and the condensers, the way we use the machines, they don't overheat as much. But when those small boxes, if you're running them all day, every day, you're going to wear it out. You're going to need to send it in for repair. And that's, eventually it's just worth upgrading to the Pulse Pro or something else like that.
Okay, question.
Okay. How are you attracting people to you? Brianna says, I'm transitioning away from horses. Area is too saturated. So she would like to market to other things like people, animals, livestock. And I mean, I think this is a great question, Dad, because I get this a lot in my business builder class, and it's really about demoing and showing people and really and having that ability to do so. So going to veterinarians and really working those groups. Do you have any recommendations for Brianna?
I think that's very interesting. And I was reading an article this morning, actually, talking about Henry Ford when he invented the Model T. He said, Henry Ford once said, if I'd have asked the people what they wanted when what they needed to help their problems, they would have said more horses on the farm or more horses to help us get around town with our buggies. He realized that he needed to do something to solve their problem in a different manner. And so that's all you need to do when you start going to livestock or to small animals or to people. You need to be able to explain. Your elevator speech is very important when you explain to someone what they're doing, or the demo. You've done nothing better than helping someone's back feel better, or helping their dog move better because it's got arthritis in its hips or whatever the situation may be. So the scenario is the same. And even you made a comment that you're saturated in the area. There may be what you consider to be saturation, but count the number of chiropractors or doctors in your town and see what's going on. See how many car dealers there are in town. There is competition, but people, what they do is they go to the person they trust. They go to the person that the person believes in what they're doing. And those are the things that are critical that you want to make sure you develop. And Elaine really works hard at that in her business builder class to help you get over that. And we all do it. We all do. I mean, when I used to do, when I first started, I was in college and I needed to make some extra money. So I became a Fuller brush salesman. And I'd been around sales most of my life, but to sell Fuller brushes door to door, my wife dropped me off at the grocery store and I was going to go to the neighborhood, and I stood on the corner for an hour and a half and before she came back to get me, because I was scared to death to walk up to somebody's house, knock on the door and ask them to buy a brush. But then when I started doing this and I loved what I was doing, I loved helping the horses, all of a sudden one day I realized I go to Wellington and I go from farm to farm to farm to farm, or to the racetrack and go to barn to barn to barn. I was a door-to-door salesman, but I believed in what I was doing, and that's how I presented myself, and that's the key. So you do that, and you do it sincerely, and you spread yourself out among small animals and veterinarians and friends and so on and so forth. The business is there, and you can grow.
Yeah, I want to say there's something that and I've learned so much from my dad. I think the one thing that really inspired me was my why, and that's how we start the class. We break down why you are doing this and your belief. I recently started telling the story. I went to a actual car wash the other day, dropped my car off. I got my MagnaWave out of the car so they could really clean. I got the car seat. If you're a mom, you know this. So I'm hauling into the waiting room with my MagnaWave and my car seat. And I sit down, and I was like, oh, well, I got my mask on. I just plugged the MagnaWave in and started treating myself. And this guy was like, what's that? And so then I was telling him, and I said, why don't you try it? So before I left that car wash, I treated 15 people in 45 minutes everywhere there. And to this day, that car wash is still calling me. They would like me to come back so that I could treat people, because everybody stayed. They were hanging out. They loved it. Okay. This just happened to me 2 weeks ago. And let me tell you, I didn't walk in there in any attempt to try to get business. Okay. At all. I went in there and I said, oh yeah, well, I'm just, just like you would a back massager. I'm just, whatever. If I'm sitting here in a room, there's one other guy, I don't care. And what I've realized is this isn't selling to me. I'm not selling anything. I'm telling you my truth. And if you don't believe it, your loss, not mine. Number two, what we're going to talk about is the more time that you spend thinking about your competitors, you're wasting time building your own empire. So stop worrying what everybody else is doing. Stop thinking about what they're doing. Stop looking at their success and start focusing on how you can better yourself. And you will see clearly eventually. And we go all the way through this in a plan to find who your target audience is, how you're going to market to them, and setting your 3 to 5 year goals in the class. I know it's a lot of money. Actually, considered in business building classes, what we charge that class for $750, and what you get out of it is pennies compared to what you would spend at other business builder classes. 6 weeks, it's every day. I promise you, you will walk away from it feeling better about your business, knowing you do well with a secure plan on how to grow it, even in the most saturated market in the world, which there are people who are in it that are growing even in Ocala, Florida, places where there's thousands of machines. So please consider the class, MagnaWave Business Builder class. I can put the link in the comments below. It's excellent. Okay, here we go. I can go on that all day long. Okay. And come to MagnaCon. We do the same thing at MagnaCon. It's just intensive for 3 days. We teach you a lot. So, all right. Dad, would MW be helpful in controlling weight and or storage of, I'm going to butcher this word, adipose tissue of IR horses? I don't know what that is. If so, what protocol is most effective? Do you know what that is?
No. And without being able to see it,
Linnea, we're going to do some research.
Yes, we'll do some research. But the bottom line, if just to think this through for 1 second, if oxygenation and good blood flow would help this situation, then MagnaWaving will help the situation. I mean, it's much easier. I'm gonna go back to what Erin always says, and she said it years ago. You know, people say, "What should I do in this situation?" And she would say, "Put it on and treat it," and that's it. Put it on and treat it. Check different intensities. Check different times. You'll see a sense of well-being come over that animal, and the animal will perform or react better to what you're doing. Put it on and treat it, and see what happens.
Okay, that's excellent advice. Okay, Dion, with the larger duo machines, are there attachments to extend the length of the attachment cord? And if so, does it cut down power down? And I will say, yes, there are extenders. And Dad, can you tell us if they do cut the power down?
Well, the power of the device, the attachments are built at specific lengths, specific spins of the copper wire inside of the attachment. So if you add 10 more feet to that, 10 feet in, 10 feet out, for example, for an extension, you are going to reduce the power of the attachment. However, you rarely on those duo machines run the machines at 100%. So it would be negligible in what you need to do. So if you need a little extra space to that, although you know our recommendation would be not to do that all the time, because that resistance also puts other resistance and other pressures on the parts in the machine. But it will work, and it can function. But that would be the only caution. Do it when you need it, but not all the time.
Okay, and I do want to say, I've got a bunch of people. Hannah says, Elaine's class is so worth it. I already made more money in sessions because of her class than the class itself cost. Thank you, Hannah. All right, so let's see. I got one more here, Dad, that's asking about the Julia Duo. Is it better to turn off the machine in between sessions or leave it on and let the fan run?
Let the fan run. You don't have to turn the machine off. Just let the fan. If you're not clicking, the machine's not running. The fan's running, but the machine is not running. It's not generating heat. So in that case, if you're going to go between sessions, let that fan run for a couple of minutes. Likewise, in the heat of the summer, if you've had the machine in the trunk of your car, you get it out, and the trunk of your car is 120 degrees, and that machine can get up to 160 or 180 before it automatically shuts off if it gets too hot. If you take it out of the car and you plug it in and you start going, it's going to heat up in an instant. So in those type situations, if you pull it out of the car, you take it into a barn, plug it in and let it run for 5 minutes. Let it cool itself down on the inside just from being in the car, and you'll be much happier.
Excellent. So, all right, so we got another one. Can you do a quick explanation for everyone of the long wire? Is the pulsing happening through the entire length of the loop? So the long wire with the 2 plugs. Now, I want to preface this with the long wire is only available for 2-plug machines.
Yes, and the answer to that is you plug in each side of the long wire, and you got a charge going through that wire until you create a loop with that wire. Wrap it around a wrist or wrap it around a leg or do something like that. That's where you get the signals. When you create circles like an electric motor, you create those circles, you'll create the signal. If you just lay it on the floor, there will be a charge going through it. It'll get warm to touch, basically, but it's not really producing the magnetic field that we want to produce. The field is produced when we have circles created.
Okay, and there's another question. Does the cooldown period that you referenced before apply to digital machines?
That's a very good question. Not as much, but there are heat dispensers. Those machines have heat regulators in them that help dissipate the heat that's in those machines. So in the strictest sense of the word, yes, let the machine rest for a minute. Now, some of the digital machines, the larger digital machines have a fan. Some of the smaller digital machines, like the Semi and some other machines, do not have fans. They have heat dissipating elements in them. So you need to let those coils that are those apparatus, little finned devices, let them dissipate the heat. So you do the same thing. Let it rest for a minute or two between sessions.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so we got a couple more questions here. Okay, so Pat, love your book and chapter, What a Difference a Day Can Make in Your Life. What info shared is most heartfelt in your book and why? And she says in there, she says that you could share with us. It was a pleasure to read your story. So maybe not all of it so that people want to get the book, but maybe share a little bit about your favorite part of that day.
Oh boy, it's been a while since I've actually read that chapter of the book, but probably I was devastated. I mean, it when 9/11 occurred and our whole life was turned upside down, we were in the aviation business at that point in time, and we were all optimistic. It was kind of a slow burn. We were all optimistic that in 3 months the aviation business is going to come back, our business would be fine, and we'd go on. That didn't happen, and it took almost a year for it to come back. Well, we couldn't last a year. We lasted 3 or 4 months before it basically decimated our finances. But it was at that point to where when that happened and I realized that I had to do something different, and I stepped out and stepped into the equine world. I grew up around horses, had been around horses when I was in college at the local racetrack, and it was a place to go. I had to learn a lot, but it was a place to go. And so doing that and seeing the acceptance was very enriching to me, and gave me the motivation to continue. So that's probably the thing. When you have that downtime, when 9/11 occurred, and we thought, oh my God, and then the fear or the angst at what happened subsided, and then we realized our world's changing. And it did, and it changed over 3 or 4 months, and then we had to figure out what to do because it crushed us at that time. Didn't crush us, poor choice of words. Did not hurt us that day, but it did over a period of time, and we had to learn how to deal with that. And that's probably the thing that we built on in the book. If you read the chapter, it's excellent. And I'm not saying my writing is excellent, but I'm just saying that the story and the motivation that we need was inspiring to me and has been inspiring to others.
I was there. I remember that, Dan. And it's inspiring. Your story is inspiring to everybody. If you've called, please call in 502-599-9722. We'll send you that book. It's an excellent chapter. It's an excellent story. If you haven't heard my dad's story, you will hear more. He really took everything and rebuilt and created MagnaWave in a way that, has really set some core values and created a company that we believe that we're helping other people because that's what he started and that's what we've done, right? I mean, it's been an amazing time. So, send us your name. We'll send you our text 502-599-9722. Brenda is asking what's the best way to get the cover off of the Max to clean the filter. Brenda, don't take the cover off of anything. That will void the warranty on your machine. If you need to clean the filter next time you send it in for service, there's a form that you fill out. Just say, please replace filter, and we'll replace that for you.
But the thing to do is take a vacuum cleaner and vacuum the surface of the filter, and that'll get that out of there. Blow out your machine with high pressure air once a month, and that'll help. I had a veterinarian. I had a chiropractic horse person. They do human and equine chiropractic. They bought machines from me. Oh gosh, maybe 12 years ago, and they called me just 2 months ago and said, "Oh, my machine's quit working. It's been doing great for 6 years." And I said, "Have you blown it out recently?" "Oh yeah, we blow it out all the time." I said, "Blow it out again." And later that afternoon, they called me. Maybe we haven't blown out as much as we have because we blew it out and it's working fine.
I've never heard that. Of course. I clean my car every week. Survey says that's not true. Okay. All right, so again, send those questions in. Now, Dad, I did want to share the practitioner portal with everybody if we have a second before we have to go
Sure,
here.
go right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go to share screen, and I'm going to hope I don't screw this up. So share.
I'll step away. I'll step away so you can share the screen.
I got it. I got it. There we go. I think. Can they see it? There it is. Okay, so this is our website, and up here in the right-hand corner there, you see practitioner portal. So I should already be logged in, so I shouldn't have to log in. There it is. So if you are not a MagnaWave practitioner, this is our portal. This is available to everybody who's certified with us, whether you're using for business or personal use. It's all here. So we have business resources here where we talk about, just the class, obviously, which I talk about a lot. A bunch of our other email templates, the MagnaWave App, you can register leads, but let's go to materials and handouts here, which I love. So we have equine, people, pets, livestock. We also have the supplements materials, the LZR Ultrabright, the brain tab. So if you are looking for handouts, we'll just go to the LZR here because I've been talking about it a lot today. You can purchase the LZR here at your special pricing. And then there's some documents. This is the document that I was showing you all before. Let me show you right now. Ooh, there we go. There it is. So it's pulled up there. That is the actual document. And you could just download it straight from here. I think I just click back there. There we go. And here it is. It just prints out, you all. This is free. All of these documents are free. So I'm actually going to go back here and I'm going to hit equine. So if you are, starting a PMF business, if you're adding this to your business, like we have filters here where it talks about anatomical materials. We also talk about marketing materials. These are for horses. So this is our brochure. Again, printable. You can take this anywhere and print it. It's just an excellent resource. So I'm really proud of this. We have the MagnaWave Academy, which is where our certification is. You can log in. You can also access those videos from the App Store on Google Play. We have the livestock certification and the practitioner map. So have you all, Dad, when was the last time? I hope the map is up because I know we just redid everything. So the practitioner map is here. If you are a practitioner and you are wanting to search for people, and I'm hoping it loads, you could search all of the locations right here. We're going to allow. So I can enter a location. I think it's going to let me do it here. Louisville, Kentucky. So it's got all the areas right around you, and everybody who is in our area is listed here. And you can edit these the best, any way that you want. So you see everybody's got their profiles. This is just an excellent way to really, we'll go to Jennifer Henderson just because I know her well. So this is her actual page, and this is a landing page. I mean, this has her actual name in the URL up here at the top. It shows where she's located. It's got her information. It talks about her business. It says who she's serving, what certification she has. Besides, she got her Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. She's a certified MagnaWave practitioner. She's got her hours of operation. And then if anybody fills this form out right here, it goes directly to Jennifer. It goes directly to you. It does not come to us. So this is just an excellent way to really build your business. And then if you don't have a website, which we build those, but if you don't have one, you don't want to get one, you just put this link up here at the top as your business website. So I just want to share that with everybody because we've been, doing this a while and it's growing constantly. So it's excellent for you all to keep up with what's available there in the practitioner portal.
Excellent information.
All right. Dawn asked, Pat, you were talking about an ozone generator a few weeks ago. Can you explain that again?
Yes, there are some ozone generators that are available, and I believe you can buy them on Amazon. They're maybe $50 to $100. You plug it into the wall, and it's got a little stone on the end of it, and it generates ozone. And it's designed for that you can put it, if you want to clean your vegetables in your kitchen, and you put them in a bowl of water, and you put this little ozone generator in there and turn it on, and it'll bubbles up, and it cleans the pesticides and things like that off of your vegetables or fruits or whatever you're doing in your kitchen. Well, it also works because if you wanted to purify a room, you put it on 30 minutes, you set the little thing on the counter, and it will put ozone into that room for 20 to 30 minutes, freshen the air, and basically help clean things. You can do the same thing to your machine. People, and this is where the conversation was, a practitioner was asking, in this COVID times, and I take my machine to a barn, I want to come home, I want to make sure it's clean. Take this ozone generator, take the little stone off, push the hose into the part of the fan opening that doesn't have a fan. There's one fan opening that sucks the air in, and then it blows it out the other one. Just stick it in there, turn it on, and it'll put ozone in that machine in a dry form, certainly, and help clean up any odors or any things that are floating around in your machine in terms of air particles that could be not good. And so that's what I was talking about with that. They are available on Amazon. I believe you could also go to simply03.com and simply03.com, and my friend Micah has them there. He's had been redesigning them, so I'm not sure they're back on his website at this point, but it's simply03.com for smaller home use ozone generators. They also make ozone generators that can be used for application many different ways. You can breathe them, you can apply through the ears. Women can use them in a certain fashion. They can be used rectally, so on and so forth, that people use for cleaning their body, helping get better oxygenation through the body to fight various diseases and tumors and so on and so forth. So ozone's a good thing, and I just need to read about it and understand it.
Excellent. We did get the question about registering a lead, and so if somebody can do that. So if you have somebody, let's say an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, or even a client that wants to purchase a machine, there's two things that you can do, and I'm going to share again. I'm sorry, Dad.
It's all right.
I'm going to share again really quickly. So on our website, if they are here on our website, can you make it go, Dad?
Sure. Sorry.
There you go. So this is just a page about the soul. So if that person is on our website, one of the cool things, you can see the pricing here starting at $7,950. You can easily add any of our products to a bundle. And if you press add, you'll see the price will go up and the discount will be applied. So let's say we want to add the hoof bundle. So it adds all that stuff right here, calculates it for you. And then let's say you get down here and you're like, okay, then they want to go to purchase and rental info. It's going to take you right here. When they fill in their information, they can put your referral code. So if you're a practitioner, you should have a referral code. It's in the affiliate dashboard. If you don't have it, email us at support@mwpmf.com or log in the practitioner portal and you'll be able to see it. They can put your referral code there. If they put your referral code there and they purchase a machine, that will connect you with the order. They can also put your name here and how did you hear about MagnaWave. Now, for our practitioners, let's go right here. When you go into the portal, it says lead registration and sales right here on the left-hand side. If you're not an affiliate already, you can email us to join the affiliate. If you are, you click here to the affiliate dashboard. You can see right here, when you're in the affiliate dashboard, it says click here to register a lead, really big in blue. You click that, you fill out a form with their name, their email, and then if they come back with that email address, you will be, used as a referral, and that will go towards you. So there's a way for them to recommend you and for you to recommend them. Both ways are available in the MagnaWave portal. All right, I think I answered that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I don't know if we have any more questions.
That's a good thing. Well, we like questions.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, Dad? You're going to give away, which book are you giving to the two people that called in? Or the one?
We'll do Pillars of Success.
Okay. So if you called in today, you'll be getting Pillars of Success. And please email support@mwpmf.com. Also, if you haven't gotten your virtual ticket to MagnaCon, please do so. That's June 9th, 10th, and 11th. You will get access to the live event as well as the recording, so you can watch it at any time. And you'll be entered to win, I think, 4 or 5 different prizes by doing that. So those tickets are at magnacon.com. So please get those tickets. Unfortunately, the live event is sold out. So being here in person is not an option if you don't already have your ticket. But if you go to MagnaCon June 9th through the 11th, we will have those virtual tickets are still for sale. And then we have the LZR. And we were going to give away an LZR today to somebody who commented. So let's make sure we don't have any more comments. Okay. Talk to us. Gosh, now we got a question. Talk to us about all the ways to use HydroWave. Do you want to answer that one?
Sure. HydroWave is a silver-based oxygenated water. And so the silver molecules are nano-sized particles of silver that will not leach to your body. So you could take it orally and it will go into your bloodstream and help clean the bloodstream, attack any bacterial types of situations with the same kind of charge, and go that way. It's also very appropriate. Silver was kind of referred to over the years as our first antibiotic, and they used it as a spray, or on they'd wet the dressings on wounds and put it on burn patients or people with damaged skin and so forth, open wounds, and it's very effective there. So it can be an oral product, it can be a topical type of product. You can put it in your drinking water of your small animals. I've seen people put it in the drinking water of their horses. I've seen people at the racetrack put it in the water that they dip the bits and things in to help keep it disinfected and cleaned after they use them and hose them off and wash them. So there's many different applications. It can be diluted. What I use as a wound spray for myself is basically I'll put it 50-50 regular water and the HydroWave, just as it goes a little farther. It's very effective for eye conditions, again, skin situations, rashes, all of that type of thing. I was telling you about my friend who's one of the managers here at the park and had a real bad bike accident. What I do with him is I put the HydroWave on first, let it dry and absorb into the wound. Then I put some of the lubricant on the wound, the lubricant antibacterial cream, put that on there. You could also use a CBD cream if you so desired. And then I use the red light right over it, which you can see the wound begin to close. And then I conclude with 3 or 4 minutes of MagnaWave just to get the good blood flow and the oxygenation to the area. He saw, it's changed in the 15 minutes that we did this, just sitting outside the other day treating him. So that's different ways to use the HydroWave, very effective. You can mix it. What I have done, been playing with some different things. You put the HydroWave into some hyaluronic acid, a more thick not glucose, but a thicker gel type hyaluronic acid. Now you have a cream that you can use on your face. The hyaluronic acid will help absorb, help the collagen build up in your skin and the wrinkles areas, kind of help diminish the wrinkles. The HydroWave, the silver molecules will be absorbed into the tissue, so it can help make your tissue healthier. And then you could come back with the LZR or with the MagnaWave or both to treat your face, head, wherever you're doing this, and it will help complexions and a lot of different things.
Okay, so this is, okay, great. I'm going to kind of bang through a couple quick questions here. Dawn, you asked, is the party on Friday night at MagnaCon still Halloween? Yes, it's HallowWave. It's not going to change. It will always be the Friday of MagnaCon if you are coming to the live event, Halloween costumes, and there will be prizes. And then let's talk about a couple people asked about the HydroWave. If you bought the concentrate, Rob, you bought a bottle of HydroWave concentrate. That is not mixed with water. If it says concentrate, it's not mixed with water. You need to mix that 50-50 for the wound spray. One person says she has severe dry eye. Can the HydroWave help? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I've only used it for like fungal infections of the eye or bacterial infections like a pink eye and stuff. But I would talk to your doctor before you put it in there for dry eye. And then
they make, of course, there's Visine and a lot of different things they put in the eye. But when I had some issues, a dry eye issue myself, and the doctor told me, don't use the Visine, don't use those. It's called Sustain, and it's actually the same type. It's like the lubricant is the hyaluronic acid that's in your body, and the Sustain is basically formulated to be like the tears or the liquid in your eye, and you would use that. Could you use a light spray of just a mist of the HydroWave to get absorbed? Sure, but I would make sure that you're using the proper thing that your doctor recommends.
Yes, and a lot of people are asking about human consumption. You can drink it every day. I put 2 of the large capfuls in the water, 16 ounces of water for my family to drink every day. So you can do that. I put in my dog's water, my cat's water every morning. They're outside animals a lot, especially right now, and it keeps the water clean. So you can take it every day. And Becky says, can it be taken along with an antibiotic?
Sure, you're not taking or doing anything that is going to counteract with anything else. It's just oxygenated water that was minute, micro-sized, nano-sized particles of silver, smaller than 1 part per million. So it's just going to assist anything that's going on. There's nothing there that would contraindicate with anything.
Okay, great. And then let's see. My 10-year-old son was just diagnosed with severe Sever's disease, which has to, Sever's disease, not severe, Sever's disease, which has to do with the tendon and growth plate. Hoping PMF will help him. So I think Shars just wants some more information on if she can use this on her 10-year-old son for Sever's disease.
Okay, I would think so. You certainly want to talk with your doctor to make sure what you're doing and where and what's going on with it. But is it going to help with the tendon development and again the oxygenation and the blood flow to those areas? Most certainly. And the doctor's going to be the one to tell you what's going on with that. There were some discussions in the very beginning when we first started. People would say, well, you treat young children, you're going to be interfering with the growth plates. And we talked to doctors, and the consensus kind of was, well, if you were to treat a child or an infant every day for 30 minutes a day for months, could you have an effect on the potentially have an effect on the growth plates? And the doctor said, well, it could be. There's not been any research to go there. But if you're treating once a week, or you're treating a sore elbow, or treating something, or for a particular thing, and you're just doing it once in a while, and the doctor understands what you're doing, you're not going to have any of those types. We would not think that you're going to have any of those types of situations. Talk with your doctor, though. We're not doctors. We don't diagnose. We just have a farm here that can help the body do what it does in a more efficient manner, but you need to make sure your doctor's with you. On the surface, it looks like good blood flow, good oxygenation can be very beneficial for most conditions and are most issues that people and animals are dealing with, but it's always important to talk with your doctor.
Okay, so a lot of people, have got questions about purchasing HydroWave. If you are a practitioner, you can simply log on the practitioner portal. It is there in the practitioner discount store. If you're not a practitioner and you'd like a quote, please email sales@mwpmf.com. We'd be happy to send you a quote for exactly what you want and give you more information on the HydroWave. Okay, I think that's it. I mean, we are almost done. I think we've been on for about over an hour now, even though we are about 30 minutes late. And we're going to send the book out to the 2 people who asked question. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give away an LZR. So we'll announce the winner for the LZR on our Facebook page later on today.
Make sure Hazel's in on that drawing, Elaine.
I got it. I have it written down on the front of my notes. Hazel Reed.
Perfect. Got it.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Have a great day and wave on to better health. Joining me on Cast